Jason Goodman caused panic right before we all went on stage to introduce the Barenaked Ladies at a concert.
Did he do this on purpose? You did this on purpose?
No. Jason,
okay.
Did you? Okay. At Bailey Park in Winston-Salem, Summerlark 2024. Our friends from Atrium Health put it on, and we were hosting it. And so, just to set the scene, so panic was in my eyes and in Squid's eyes right before we're about to walk up in front of 3,000 or 4,000, I don't know, thousands of people. The place was seriously, Katie, packed.
I saw some pictures. It looked like it was totally packed out.
And it was just a great vibe. And the concert, this is the headliner and the Barenaked Ladies. They have multiple hits, and people are excited to see them. And so we're there to get the crowd extra hype to introduce the Barenaked Ladies. And so we go up on stage, or we're about to go up on stage. We're backstage, and then Jason is like, I said, hey, by the way, Squid is introducing us, or me, to bring us on stage. He did that last year.
Okay. Yeah. So it's following tradition.
Yeah. Keep it going.
And he goes,
I was there last year.
And Jason was there last year. He goes, he is? Huh. Okay. So right away,
doubt already.
Doubt on.
Doubt. Yeah.
I mean, that's not a bad thing for him to go up there and introduce you. What's your Why?
It worked out well last year.
Yeah.
Instead of walking out, and I hate saying who I'm like, I'm Jared from Jared, because that you're supposed to.
Yes.
But it's nice for somebody else. I wish, or somebody say, hey, welcome to the, so they know who you are. And you're not saying it. I don't like saying it myself.
Okay.
I don't. I don't know. I feel it's awkward. And so Squid was like, last year, was like, I'll introduce everybody. I'm like, okay, great. And so he's about to go up and he goes, oh, Squid? Huh. And
Jason.
So in doubt. And he goes,
it's like 15 seconds, too.
Yeah. Because our friends
mics are hot.
Our friends Brittany and Andrew, who run the thing, they are so organized, and everything was down to the minute. I mean, there's flexibility, but when it came to when they came on stage, it was this is what time they're coming on stage. So we can't be dilly-dallying and making a last-second plan. If anything, they'll start an intro video, and then we're going to miss the whole thing.
Got it. Or last-second doubting yourself.
Right.
Thanks to Jason.
So that's not what caused the panic. That started the panic.
That was just the pre-panic.
That's the pre-panic.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So there's some pre-panic going on. Like Squid all of a sudden was hyped. Squid was hype, and then all of a sudden was like,
Yeah.
And then he goes, I don't think it's then taking a dump on me. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to introduce Jared, saying Jared, and then saying the station, introducing it like it's a big deal, because what if no one cheers?
Right before you're supposed to go on stage?
Yeah. So I'm like, what do I say?
What?
So what do you say?
What are you supposed to? Yeah.
So he just took a dump. He naturally dumps on people.
Yeah.
I don't think on purpose. It's natural.
It just comes to him.
He dumped on Squid. Why would you? You're going to have him do it?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, what if no one cheers for you and the station? And I'm like, well, you're coming on stage too.
That's horrible.
Right.
That's the opposite of hype.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like,
Thanks.
well, what if no one does?
Yeah.
We've done enough. As soon as you walk on stage, people are excited because they know it's about to happen. Right?
But in your mind, you're thinking, well, what if they don't?
What if they don't?
And then you're in your weird headspace.
Right.
That's how I live my life, Katie.
We don't want to be there.
I don't want to be in a weird headspace.
No.
We don't want to be there. And then what caused more panic, he goes, Squid, what exactly are you going to say now? Squid looks at me like this. He said, you can't, don't say that. Don't say it's Jared. Introduce him, because what if no one cheers? It's not like it's a big, it's not a big deal or anything.
Yeah.
And Squid had that look in his face
I was like, I was just going to go for I was just going to let it come out, I didn't have a concrete plan, Yeah, and I was racing in my mind, like, what am I gonna say?
And it's not like it's in front of a classroom.
No,
thousands of people, and we're representing the station at this point.
Huge stage.
Yes,
huge sound system.
Yes.
Well, the whole downtown can hear it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's people on the rooftops around the Bailey Park, watching as well. I mean, it's freaking awesome.
Well, and it's also things that we say. If you think, every day. These are the things that are in. He knows, Squid, you know what to say when you get up there. It's not like you had a script that you had to rehearse. This is your natural hypeness to talk about the show and bring Jared on.
Yes, when I don't overanalyze it and think about what I'm going to say.
But then don't say Jared?
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like when I got the in-game thing for the Cobras, why would you do it? And then it's like there's no belief in somebody.
If I were you, I'd stop telling him that you're doing stuff. I really would. I would just stop telling him.
And I'm the opposite. I want us all to be up there. I want us all to be all to have our moment, and it's a fun thing. It's a great thing.
You were going on stage,
yeah,
right,
he's up
Jason?
there. He's throwing out T-shirts and stuff.
Because what had happened was, I know Jared was making announcements through the park the whole time, and then when it was originally supposed to be like one more announcement, and then we go up on stage but then something changed technically or something.
Yeah, they had a video issue.
So it was like, oh, come down here now. So yeah, that's when I was like, it was kind of like, oh, quickly, let's go now.
We're like tying T-shirts and making sure they're in balls so we can throw them.
Yeah, we're throwing T-shirts out to the crowd.
What did you, in your mind, what did you want Squid to say?
Well,
like the way you were picturing it?
So much want. I have a quick flash came to my head. 2 things. Total of 3 things that caused me to panic inside.
Okay.
But the first 2 things involved Squid was one time he was at some club and he made this big announcement and not one person cheered.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, oh gosh.
Okay.
And he said the F word like 7 times.
Yeah.
Different environment, but yes.
Yes.
So like he was like, make some noise. Whatever he said at the club, it was not one person. It was like, woo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be horrible. That's what I was thinking in my head once Jared gave him the mic.
Okay.
Then the second part was, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if he's vulgar? Does he know not to be vulgar on the stage? Because he can be vulgar. We saw that at the karaoke thing. So that was another panic going through my head.
Now, I didn't think about that, but I think we had, when I talked about it,
We'd said it enough.
Like, hey, not here.
And I did it a year ago. I did it a year ago.
Yeah, you did it a year ago. Seriously, it wasn't even a concern on my radar. I was more worried about just like, let's make sure we're on time, make sure we don't miss it, and we get the crowd, hype, and then get off the stage and stuff like that.
And then the third thing, which was going through my head, a main thing, is, see, Jared, I'm different on that part. I think it sounds awkward when you say, hey, to yourself, maybe like, hey, it's Jared from Jared and Katie in the Morning on 107.5. I think that sound, but I don't think it sounds that way to the crowd. You're just introducing yourself. I was nervous it was going to be like, and now, introducing, from experience, Jared. And everybody's like, boo. Yeah. Because I've had that before myself. So I was like, oh my gosh, don't say Jason Goodman like that because people are going to boo. Right?
Okay,
So that's where I was coming from.
Sure.
But it was at obviously the last second. And I didn't know that was going to happen when he gave Squid the mic at the last second. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So we did this last year. So when Squid had that look in his face like, what am I going to do? And Squid was about to say probably the same thing. I said, just do what you're going to do.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Just do exactly what you thought you were going to do. Don't change. I said, don't change a thing. Stop thinking about it. No thinking. Squid, you're your best when you're not thinking. Don't think at all. Just
Take
get
your
up
brain out.
Yeah. And he went up there and he got the crowd. I mean, as soon as he walked on stage, people went nuts.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
One of them thought he was the lead singer of the Barenaked Ladies.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you.
And then he introed us, and we went out there throwing shirts. People were going nuts, and we did our thing, and made sure we introed everybody on the show and all the stuff that were there, and just said, of course, said the show and the station we're supposed to. That was also in my head because I had made a previous announcement where I didn't say the station, just the show. Jason texted me, you ain't going to mention the station. I'm like,
wow.
You're right. No, to be fair, you're right. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm not arguing.
But you did all the other times. So this time I'm like, you know what? I'm in the back of the venue. I'm like, I'm going to videotape Jared so he has something.
Sure.
So I could. And I'm like, it's the one time he didn't mention his name, the station's name, or the morning show's name. I'm like, well, here it is.
Ain't that the way?
The one time he films it. Because I did like 6 times. So I think one time it was a quicker one.
Yeah.
I just didn't do all the stuff. But we went out there, and then they came out, and I mean, actually, I think as we're leaving the stage, some group of people were chanting Squid's name.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
There was 2 groupies
it was
on the side.
Yeah, 2 groupies on the side. But no, she wants to
Two's better than none.
Yeah. I think her daughter just likes the weekly raps a lot, and she wanted to take a picture with me. So yeah.
Okay, I don't know how old they were, so change the groupie part.
They were just
nice
fans. Nice family fans.
Well, it was just the mom. She was talking about her daughter, so her mom could have been a good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the Barenaked Ladies were fantastic.
Good,
and
good.
The crowd, the vibe, it's just a whole vibe at Bailey Park and Summerlark.
And it was a beautiful night.
The night
too.
was perfect.
Yeah.
It sprinkled for 2 seconds, but it felt nice and cool, but not too cold.
It looked cool in the lights, the purple lights and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then again, shout out to Andrea and Brittany and all the people who, with Atrium Health and Summerlark, they're the most organized, kind people that are doing a very stressful event, and they do it better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, even other concert But I will say this for the record, Jared. I did give you both compliments when we walked down the stage. And that was very good. Good job.
Oh, well, that's
You
nice.
did. Yes, thank you.
did.
Okay, you better hold on to that one because it's few and far between.
Oh,
I caused mass hysteria about 5 seconds before we walked on stage.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And then in true my fashion, the show's great and all this stuff. And then I'm thinking, all right, I got to make one more announcement during fireworks with Barenaked Ladies as they're walking off the stage.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. And then after that, I'm going to go home. It's going to be over. So I'm looking for my keys to my car.
Oh, boy.
But I have a loaner car because my Tesla's still in the shop.
Mm-hmm. Again.
And yes, and it's a newer Tesla. And the key looks like a black credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Oh, my
Jared.
God.
What?
You're like me.
Just gone.
What?
And I remember saying to myself, leave this in the car.
Uh-huh.
Because if I take it with me, I'm going to be in and out of my pockets because I know I'm making announcements. I have the announcements in my pocket. I have to refer to it. It'll probably fall out. And I'm like, then I was like, no, just bring it just in case. Because if somebody goes to the car and still, I don't know what I was thinking. And I'm like, there's 5,000 people, however many people here. It's dark outside. I've been literally all over the park.
Everywhere, yeah.
Including meeting them in a separate building at Innovation Quarters. We met the group band Barenaked Ladies before. They had like some secret meeting off to the side. They opened some gate and we were, going up elevators and they're like, where are they? And then we just met them. And I'm like, it could be anywhere. And so my friend Jordan's like, I'll take you, back home. And I'm just like, oh, just going to leave this loaner car in downtown Winston.
Oh, my.
And the key's probably $500 to $1,000 to replace. Mm-hmm. And we're driving home. I'm getting ready to drive home. And I get a call from the people somewhere like, hey, we found your key. I'm like, I was so excited.
Where?
They're like, it was slaying on the stage.
Oh, my God.
So I guess when I reached in to pull out some announcements, it just fell off. It's just it looks like a black credit card, like the worst. Luckily it was on the stage because you wouldn't have found it otherwise.
The stage is black too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that's true.
It's not obvious. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that. You are like me in ways like that. I lose phones and keys all the time.
Yeah.
And I was more excited about that than like winning the Super Bowl because I was so depressed about there's thousands of more dollars that I don't have.
Yeah.
But what a great night.
I was thinking about putting an ear tag on my keys. What do you think?
It's great unless you lose your phone at the same time.
Yeah, but I can go to Google and search for my phone up.
That's true.
I need to do AirTag on my keys.
That's true.
It's not stop with me. I've done it. I think last week I left it at the grocery store again.
You guys should just start carrying a purse.
Geez.
On the cash register where you pay.
I would lose my purse.
Out, left it. Someone ran out saying, is this your phone? I'm like, oh, yeah. Thank you.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do it all. Not my phone, but everything else.
Yeah, not your phone.
My phone, I always
that is glued to your hand.
I always have
I'm just in deep, deep, deep thought of what I'm doing at the time that everything else disappears around me.
It makes you sound intellectual, but we know that it's not about anything intellectual.
I'm not trying to sound that. I know that. I'm
just deep in thought.
I notice the things I shouldn't notice, and the things that everybody notices I don't notice. That's a problem. It's always been a problem. So I don't notice my phone right in front of me as I'm walking out, but notice like there's a thing on the side of the cart that's just that type of thing.
You get distracted by stuff and you're like,
so annoying.
Same.